Rural Lifestyle, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Good morning and welcome back to the show, Karen. It's good to see you again.
Good to see you.
You look better.
Thank you. Better than
I know. Never mind, you guys. Never mind. So, woo, we have a lot of fun doing this.
We do. We have a great time, and we get to eat.
And we get to eat. And if people knew kind of what went on behind the camera, yes, they would want to join us. And that's something we were going to talk about in the next couple of weeks. Is maybe inviting people to come in we're at the Hy-Vee Club Room here in Manhattan, and as we start to do some other stuff, we're going to invite some people in.
That would be a really fun thing.
It would be a really fun thing. They get to see.
Yeah, I teach cooking classes in our club room, so that would just be really at home for me. So.
Well, we do a lot of dinner. We're going to do breakfast today.
People always, think about breakfast as just breakfast foods, and I like to try to get the idea of beef at breakfast, because beef is a great thing to add at breakfast for the protein. I don't know about you, but if I start my day by eating some good quality protein like beef has, I feel so much better and more energetic through the morning and through the day. And so studies are showing us now that people should try to get at least 20-30 grams of protein at their breakfast meal. So beef is a great way to do that.
It's a great source of protein.
Right.
That's exactly right.
So this recipe we're going to do today, Brian, I call it beefy skillet scramble. It's a one skillet meal done. I use this recipe a lot when I have company over or when the kids are home for the weekend, because it's so simple. There's actually even a simpler method. I'm going to show you two things. This is just a little seasoning packet that you can buy in a lot of your butcher shops or processing plants, wherever. That's what they use. That one little packet does 25 pounds of beef. So I just put a tablespoon or two of an already mixed product into a pound of ground beef, mix it up, and it makes sausage.
Right.
The reason I love it is because beef sausage is so much leaner than typical sausage, and this happens to be a 95% lean ground beef, which is even more so. Right. But if you don't want to buy the packet, I have right here, see this little blend? I have red peppers, onion powder, garlic powder, a little salt, and some rubbed sage. Yeah. And that's going to do the same thing for us. We're just going to kind of stir that in there, sprinkle it on our beef, and then as we stir that in, you'll start to kind of get that nice sausage flavor going on. So we'll just mix it all in there. And this makes beef sausage.
And heat-wise, someone could add some additional chili or
you bet. You could do whatever you wanted.
It's up to your liking. So.
Exactly. Yeah. The other thing I like to do with this blend at home is freeze it in patties.
Oh, nice.
And then I can just pull them out a couple at a time or whatever I want to do and have beef sausage all the time. In the freezer. So now, like any other ground beef product, you're going to want to make sure this cooks to at least 160 degrees to be safe. And this pan I've already preheated.
Yeah, it's screaming at us.
Exactly.
We know
so
we're just going
to put that ground beef in there. Now, what I'm going to do with this sausage is we're just going to let it cook into crumbles. You can kind of see you can see the little flecks of seasoning in there.
Oh yeah.
So you're going to start smelling the sausage.
Smelling the sage. Yeah,
you will.
Immediately
That wonderful sausage flavor. So we're just going to give this a good stir and let it cook now. And then we're going to add in the potatoes, the hash browns, and some egg and some cheese, and make a wonderful casserole right here.
Now, is this something that we could cook the day before? I mean, if
you could actually cook it up to a point where maybe the eggs you would want to add just that day, right when you're heating it to eat, but you sure could.
Right.
We've actually done this recipe for serving over 100 people at a time.
Wow.
And so it's just a really simple.
Right.
And it's so simple to clean up. Can you smell that sausage?
Yeah, you can.
So.
Well, we're going to finish cooking our hamburger meat, and we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we'll kind of put everything together. You're watching Ag AM in Kansas, and we'll see you in just a minute.
Rural Lifestyle, brought to you by Brown Chevrolet Buick. In Wamego, just a short drive down the yellow brick road.
Thanks for staying with us, Karen.
Yes.
It's good to come back and
ready to finish this off.
Ready to finish this off. All right, brown the meat, put the potatoes in. Bagged potatoes just in the frozen section?
I did. I always buy the ones with a little bit of pepper in them, the red and green pepper. So if people like that, it adds a little color and a little flavor.
Got them cooked off, put some eggs in it, kind of scrambled them in, and let's finish this off.
One skillet scramble. Yeah. And then what I like to do is just top it with a little cheddar. Makes it look real pretty.
Or in my case, a lot of cheddar.
Yeah, you like the cheese.
I do like the cheese.
Then we're just going to let that actually Oops, we'll put the lid on, and that's going to soften that cheese, melt it down a little bit, right down over that, and then we'll be ready to serve it.
Well, again, we were talking in the first segment about getting the necessary protein early in the morning to really kind of kickstart everybody's day. Especially kids are back in school. It's a great way to get them started and kind of thinking very well early in the morning.
Yeah, you know, studies have actually shown that people that have breakfast and added protein just helps even more. The recall of the brain is that much quicker. So I always tell students they're going to have a test mid-morning. You need to get that breakfast on board so that when it comes test time, they can recall that information more quickly.
And this is an easy recipe where you could just brown the meat the night before, and you even said put the potatoes in it.
Yeah, brown it all off.
And you're basically just scrambling some eggs. If you're going to do that anyways, you've got some other things
Just put an egg
there.
right into the middle of it, and it's ready to go. But you can see, I mean, you can let that cheese melt down even more, but this cheese is starting to melt down. And then it's kind of fun to just be able to serve it right into a pretty dish like this. And just top it off with a little fruit on the side, a glass of milk, whatever, and you've got a wonderful healthy
A little more hot sauce.
you
Something
go.
else we were kind of talking
Yes,
about,
we were.
and
Let's
it
do
really
it.
wasn't a part of it, but
Let's do
I mean,
it.
this would
A
be
little
great
breakfast
for
burrito.
a little breakfast burrito, exactly.
You know, a lot of times people, when they're trying to think of something a little fancier for breakfast, they want to make a breakfast casserole which has a lot of egg and different cheeses and stuff. This is really healthy because it's got that lean protein from that beef. And then we seasoned sausage, you know, made that taste like a great sausage. So it's a good way to have some variety besides just that overnight egg casserole.
All right, we're into overtime here now, Karen. Normally we talk about nutrition and some other things, but today I wanted to really visit about fresh beef. Especially here at Hy-Vee, and we haven't really talked about it. We've gone down to the meat case and done some stuff down there before, but one of the nice things I think for consumers is shopping at Hy-Vee is they can go down to the meat counter and ask for fresh cuts.
Right. We do. We have a whole fresh meat case, and it's got every imaginable cut in it. And like today, I just went down and asked for some fresh ground beef for this kind of recipes, and then we'll, you know, they're fresh. They were cutting T-bones when I was down there, so it just depends. We get our beef comes in, Cryovac primal cuts, and so we can, our butchers, our guys in the back, will cut it how you want it.
And there's certainly nothing wrong with buying the vacuum packed beef that's already done and out. That's fresh beef also, but just having the butcher cut, if you haven't tried it, one of these days go down and ask your butcher to cut you a 2-inch thick ribeye.
Oh, wow.
I know.
That would be good.
That's the way I roll.
Good. Well, you know, you do retain a lot of moisture. I mean, when they're fresh cutting that, it's a nice fresh cut. It's going to have lots of great moisture and flavor. So.
Beef What's for Dinner?
Yes, this
website?
recipe, this recipe, just get on the beefitswhatsfordinner.com recipe, and they can tell you, and they've got a recipe there how to make the sausage. Just click on the breakfast recipes and you'll find it.
Perfect.
It's great.
It's always good to see you.
Thank you.
We'll see you all later.